Hello and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 132, and it is our season review. 22-23 season has happened. It's felt like it's taken 10 years instead of one due to the massive break in the middle for the World Cup, but it's certainly been an eventful one. So we've got a whole load to talk about. As ever, I am Daniel McIver and joined by Adam Kennedy. Are you excited to review the season, Adam?
No.
Okay. How are you doing generally then?
Great. I miss football
this
already.
is the level it's going to be for the whole
This is,
hour.
I can't be bothered with this. There's a hearts-filled hole in my life. Like, even watching these finals recently, the weekend just there, like, oh my God. See when your team's not involved and you're just watching a rubbish game of football, but there's no other games of football on, so you can't like go and watch something else. It's dire. I'm not looking forward to the Champions League final either because I just get the impression that it'll be one of two things. Inter Milan will either scrape it on pens, having shithoused their way to a 0-0 draw, or Man City will absolutely batter them. So yeah. Football's not in a good place. I'm not in a good place, but you know what they say, we just keep marching on. How are you?
Right. I love the optimism for the season review that we're getting into.
I'm so underwhelmed.
I mean, that's pretty much fit. I think underwhelmed is going to be very much the theme of this episode. Yeah.
Just title it that. Don't even title it season review. Just title it underwhelmed.
Yeah, doing fine. It's getting warmer and I just die in the heat. I can't deal with it at all. So
I like the heat.
No, I love that. I've not had my hair cut in ages, so if you're watching on YouTube, the Black Panther hat's back because my hair.
Come on, let's see the Barnet. Come on.
It's so bad. It's so long and weird at the front. I
think it's that bad.
And there's this weird side bit that just won't.
I've got that.
Go down, and it's a nightmare. So the hat's staying.
Have you got a Coos lick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, it's a pain in the arse, mate. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
But what is also a nightmare was the 2022-2023 Heart Midlothian season.
Cracking tangent early doors. You've got to respect it.
That's what we're basically planning on doing this entire episode. Focus on Hearts that's shite, and hopefully it allows us to move on to better, more exciting topic like hair. That's where we are. But if we take our minds back to the 26th of July.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I would, because there was optimism. There was optimism at this stage.
Do you know what? Yeah, we were excited. We were all excited. I think we were a couple of cheerleaders, weren't we?
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, life was good then.
We were about to embark on our first group stage European football in our lifetime. We had Robbie Nielsen as manager.
Well, no, not since. Well, the one that we can remember.
Yeah, but one that we're actually like fully cognizant for. Yeah, exactly. Robbie Nielsen was manager. There was the unknown of a former Dundee United, Aberdeen and St Mirren striker in the form of Lawrence Shankland arriving, and how well would
Hibs and Aberdeen were looking to climb at the bottom six. Life was great.
It was going really well. So we are going to, first of all, in this review our predictions that were made, as I say.
Oh, dear Jesus, because these go well. These always go down well.
On the 26th of July, 2022, it was 5 days before the first game of the season against Ross County. But obviously what that means is there was still another month of the transfer window, but you need to make your predictions at some stage. We always do it the week before the season starts. So I'm going to preface this by saying I think I've done better in the general awards, and I think you've done better in the predicted league table.
Oh, that's encouraging. Okay.
I've had an absolute mare in the league table. But we will, however, start in heart-based awards. So as ever, we have 4 awards. We have top goal scorer, best signing, best young player, and player of the year. So it's who we think. So, Adam, do you remember who you predicted our top goal scorer to be?
Surely Shankland, no. I'm just trying to think. Sorry, I was listening to what you were saying. Don't get me wrong, but I did zone out because I just temporarily, because I remembered that I was also headed for Canada at that stage, and I missed Canada.
Yeah, of course you were. Yeah, you were. at the start of the
I miss
season.
Canada, and I miss watching the first derby of the season alongside my missus's parents and trying to keep my cool at Martin Boyle's
Yeah,
equaliser.
of course.
Whereas inside my brain, I was fucking screaming. Sorry, Shankland. I backed the signing of Shankland. I was one of the few that saw the vision, so surely I went Shankland for top goal scorer.
You're correct. You
Yeah.
predicted Lawrence Shankland as top goal scorer, including.
Is that the last of my correct predictions?
No, I think you're all right. At this point, you're all right. You also
It's not a Gary Mackay-Stevens shocker dropped in there, is there somewhere?
Maybe in the next category. But not only did you say Lawrence Shankland was going to be top goal scorer, I'll give you this. You didn't get the personnel right, but you said the dream is if Shankland and Boyce get 40 between them and we see a partnership get that. Now, it wasn't Liam Boyce.
Yeah, a partnership of sorts.
But we saw a partnership get 40 goals.
I didn't see Josh Ginnelly bagging as many as he did, so
no.
There is that.
I also went with Shankland. And again, with the caveat that if he wasn't top goal scorer, it would be viewed as an unsuccessful season. Now,
what have you got to say to that?
Well, I don't think there was any. I think even if you double the next, because Gino was our next top goal scorer, and even if you double his goals, he's not near Shankland. So I think it's fair to say Shankland's been a success. I think that's one way of putting it.
I'm only. This is tongue in cheek. You weren't the only one. There was plenty of skepticism. I alluded to this last week. There was loads of folk, to be fair, just digging up old tweets about Shankland. It was great patter. Just seeing folk just adamant that he was championship standard, and look, he exceeded my expectations. He exceeded yours.
Yeah,
and he's just a really good centre forward.
I think I said in that episode, if he got 12 goals, I'd view him as a success.
Okay. And when did he hit that? Like October?
Roughly, yeah. If you include all comps, yeah, he'd roughly hit that then.
Fair, I mean, it could be worse. You could have said that Erling Haaland would be the worst Premier League striker.
That's true. Very true.
Or that he'd barely struggled to hit 15 goals like Rory Jennings did. So there is that.
Well, moving on to best signing of the season. Again, we did this on the 26th of July. We were to make another
I've just remembered who it was.
We did make more signings after the season. For example, one of them was Xander Clark, who wasn't in, and I've seen a lot of people put him in one of the positive things this season. He wasn't there. I said that going off the logic that I predicted Lawrence Shankland would be top goal scorer, that would therefore make him best signing. Adam,
did I match that somewhat, but said that I was going to separate it because I reckoned that Alan Forrest would have been a risk-free signing and that he'd do much better than most folk would think?
That is almost word for word what you said. You said it was disrespectful that people aren't rating him, that he was going to prove a lot of people wrong, and that you back him to be as good. Not as good, sorry, that makes it sound like as good as Shankland, but one of the most impactful signings of the season.
Put my hands up. Got it wrong. just as most folk did about Shankland. For a while, that bet, that
early
statement
season,
it was looking good, and then he's just fallen off a cliff and hasn't quite recovered. Let's move swiftly on.
Yeah, we'll move to best young player. And again, the caveat to this, because
we play young players.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. You questioned the fact that I didn't pick Alex Cochrane because you were saying he's eligible for it.
Right.
However, we made the caveat that it couldn't be a signing. It had to be someone within the academy breaking through into the team.
You get loads of those.
Yeah, exactly. I went with the caveat of, just to will it into existence, Connor Smith.
That's decent from you.
Connor Smith is interesting because he hasn't featured, but he has been, as we've heard, been offered a new 2-year deal.
Oh, he featured in Europe a wee bit, did he not?
Yeah, he had it.
What I mean is, like a hole filler at times. Yeah,
he did well when he came on against Fiorentina.
Yeah, that's the one I remember.
Do you remember who you picked?
I don't have a clue. I want to say Finlay Pollock or somebody like that, but I honestly couldn't tell you. No
You did
idea.
not say Finlay Pollock. You also went
A
with
young
Connor
player.
Smith.
No, that's a bit of a shite bag answer, but here we are.
But I think it was the one that kind of, because looking at his age compared to the others, it was like, right, this is it. We're going to have
Yeah,
more
this was like
games. We need
last
to put
chance
it in.
saloon, really, that he was
Yeah.
drinking in. And I find it intrigued that he's been offered a new deal. I don't know. Don't
Well,
know.
we'll see what happens with that. And then finally was Player of the Year. So again, and again, with the caveat that I wanted to use weird voodoo magic to try and replicate the season that we just had. So I said the person that I said the season
Gordon?
prior who did win it, and I went with Craig Gordon. Now,
Right.
my guy got hurt halfway through the season and we haven't seen
That
him.
doesn't help.
No. I did, however, say my actual answer, if I was pressed on it, would be Lawrence Shankland, because again, if we're signing a top goal scorer, he's going to be Player of the Year. Do you remember who you said?
Player of the year. Boyce or something like that, maybe?
So you also went with Lawrence Shankland, and as you said it, you then went, why am I doing this? It's mental that I've went with Forrest as best signing despite Shankland for top goal scorer and Player of the Year, but hey, them's the rules.
Did I say that?
That's the quote from Adam King.
Them's the rules. When have I ever said that? I'm going to go back and play that after we recorded this. Them's the rules. Who do I think I am?
Because I think I said to you, I was like, why are you picking Forrest for best signing?
I know, you questioned it. You were right. You were right. I don't know. Because this is where it's shite though. Like, because we've been starved of a centre forward for so long, the fact that we were like begging that he was somewhat decent and then would make up all our Player of the Years, like that's, I don't know. It sort of screams one man team to me, does it not?
a wee bit, aye. But those were our predictions. Obviously, in real life, top goal scorer was Lawrence Shankland. Best signing, probably as a result, was Lawrence Shankland.
Yeah,
Player
fair.
of the Year, both fans and players, was Lawrence Shankland. So generally, we were right. We as a podcast backed them to do well.
Yeah, you can have that.
Maybe one of us more than the other. But officially, as a podcast,
yeah, okay.
we said you do well. Right.
In fairness, I get your skepticism with my previous track record.
Yes, maybe that's what I just had fair. GMS running through my ears, just being like, oh, he's already backed him. But no,
honestly, I'm delighted to see the back of that guy.
So we move on to the predicted league table. So the actual league table finished like this. Celtic were champions again before Ange left today as we are recording this.
Yes, that made my morning.
Yep, that was fun. Rangers sacked Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and brought in former assistant Michael Beale, finished second. Aberdeen had a mental season where they got beat by us, Hibs and Darvel in the same month, but yet finished third. We finished fourth after a
aggregate score of 12-0 as well in those 3 games. My God, that is an embarrassment.
We had at one point an 11-point lead over Aberdeen, yet finished behind them in fourth.
Thanks.
Hibs continued their upward trajectory under new manager Lee Johnson as they finished fifth. St Mirren made it a historic first top 6 finish inside 40 years as they finished sixth. Motherwell looked like they were all going down one way under Graham Alexander.
Another mental season.
Etc., etc. However, Stuart Kettlewell came in and massively helped them and got them to 7th. And now it looks like Van Veen's going to Groningen.
Yeah, see that? I didn't realise that they'd been recently relegated.
Yeah, near to that.
So a 10 grand a week in the Dutch second tier is mental money, but
definitely
fair play. I think they'll take that, to be fair.
I think they will as well, actually.
Banking on him trying to repeat that's going to be tough. I like Van Veen, I do, but I mean, let's face it, the age that he's at, if they get offered a decent amount of dough, and it's not a divisional rival, I think they'll probably take it.
Absolutely. Livingston once again cemented themselves as a Premiership side as they finished 8th. St Johnstone looked like they were going to be heading for relegation, but Steve McLean came in and managed to kind of sort them out. So they finished 9th. Kilmarnock just stayed out of the relegation trouble on the last day as they finished 10th. Then Ross County finished in that 11th spot, and yet inexplicably didn't get relegated.
Let's talk about that.
Right, yeah, let's do it now. They were, of course, 3-0 down with 20 minutes to go, and yet somehow won on penalties.
Have you ever seen anything like that in the Scottish game in your life?
It was mental.
It was mental.
Like, I don't even know.
I've got it. I'm gonna come out and say it. They're my new Livingston in terms of a club that I've got like no reason to beef with. Ross County in the top tier again. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Did you actually look at that Thistle away end? It looked rocking. It looked amazing. Like, the support was phenomenal. And then it pans the other way, and you just see, like, behind the goal, County have got that little section of, like, the wee jakies that are down in, like, near the corner, and then it's just like old guys in that. Like, farmers that just, no. I can't believe they've done it. Thistle could have made history as well. Chris Doolan lost his dad. I thought they were going to do it for him.
Yeah.
But it was such a nice story. But no. Jan Danda, we could have snipped Jan Danda from Ross County as well. I
still think he's going to come. I think he's leaving Ross County at the very least. I think Hibs, Hearts and Aberdeen.
He'll be away, surely. Yeah. But now it's going to be for
a lot more.
A fee. Yeah.
Well, Ross County stayed up. The team that didn't, in easily the biggest surprise of the season at the start of it, Dundee United, who previously had finished fourth, were getting into Europe. I think at the time that we recorded, we're about to play their second leg against AZ Alkmaar, and we're just absolutely loving life.
That's right. I think we recorded it on the night that they got stuffed 7-0.
I think memory serves me.
I think we did. We were like, oh, brilliant. They shut them out. Great 1-0 win to take over to Holland. And just like Scotland in that Euro 2004 playoff or whatever the hell it was, try to defend a 1-0 lead in Holland and you get smashed. In their case, for 7, unlike the national team who got smashed for 6.
And just what followed was 3 different managers. One of the worst signings the league's ever seen.
1,000 goals conceded at least.
Yeah, like comical goals. And then, relegation as they finished bottom. So, where did we think everybody was going to finish? Now, we actually predicted an identical top 6. We both had the exact same view. We felt that Celtic would again win the league, which they did. We felt that Rangers would, of course, then be second. And then here's the one that is now, in hindsight, the worst call. But when you actually go back and look at what a lot of people were saying at the time, a lot of people had this side in and around this position. But both Daniel and Adam had Dundee United to finish third position.
I tell you what's a madness. I take it you follow Pie and Bovril on Twitter.
Yeah.
They released their kind of like pre-season predictions by folk that had used the site.
Mm-hmm.
4 folk suggested that Dundee United would get relegated. 4 people.
Crazy.
Absolutely bonkers.
Mental. We both said that we'd have a European hangover, and this is where it gets weird because we finished where we said we'd finish. We both predicted 4th.
But circumstances changed, don't they?
But no one predicted us to have that lead and then bottle it. This is the first one where I'm going to give myself credit. Despite Hibs finishing 5th in reality, we both said Aberdeen, but I said I was really unhappy with picking Aberdeen because I actually think they will finish 3rd, but I'm not confident enough to put it in, and I'm now annoyed at myself.
I'd be raging.
Yeah. So we both said that. We're obviously
got your gut, mate.
I know. And then finishing out the top 6, only 1 position off. We both said Hibs.
All right. So 5 of the top 6.
Yeah, we got.
If you look at it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. This is where I then have a nightmare, and you're not terrible. You're all right here.
Okay.
So, as we say, in 7th place was Motherwell. You predicted Motherwell to finish in 7th place. I was 1 off. I said Livingston. I thought Livingston were going to be best of the rest in the bottom 6, but they weren't.
It's a toss of a coin.
Yeah. Exactly. We then both were Derek McInnes pilled, as we both said Kilmarnock could finish 8th. Because our logic was Derek McInnes knows the league, and we just bought into that completely.
In fairness, I think
we also mentioned Lafferty.
I either said on here or on Talk Scottish Football that I didn't think it was a Premiership squad. And that's pretty much proved.
It
I mean,
almost
Lothkelly kept
wasn't.
like 4. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. There you go. And they've already signed the boy Robbie Diaz from
Robbie
Inverness.
D's, aye. Yeah.
Dees, sorry,
Yeah.
the centre half. So yeah, I think they're ones for watching actually next season, Kelly. If he has a good window, there you are.
I think that's fair. In ninth place, St Johnstone finished. We had different ones for this. You said Livingston, so again, you were only one off.
That's all right.
I said Ross County, and I don't know why. I think even I also said, I was like, they've lost Reagan Charles Cook. They've lost all their other attacking talent. And then I just went, ninth.
Yeah.
So that's a bad shout. Definitely a bad shout. Continuing the bad shouts from both of us, 10th was Kilmarnock. Now, I said Motherwell, but you then, as I'm saying it, you made me realise my error because, as I say, you predicted Motherwell to finish 7th, which they did, because you almost immediately called that Alexander would not last much longer, so said that will be with a different manager who you think will get a tune out of them. Now, you didn't predict Stuart Kettlewell.
No, I didn't.
But
I didn't think that Stevie Hamill was getting a tune out of them when they were packed at the Scottish by Wraith Rovers or whoever it was.
Very true. But I didn't think of that. I just looked at how rubbish Motherwell were and was like, they'll finish 10th, and didn't factor in the fact that, well, that wouldn't allow Alexander wouldn't survive a season.
In fairness, I don't think that would have looked a daft shout when Stuart Kettlewell got the job.
Yeah,
I think they'd have bitten your hand off for 10. So really, to be honest, like the bottom 6 is a bit of a stab in the dark. Like, well, it's the one that you don't want to do because of what you're about to go on to.
Yeah, we continue with that as you in 10th place had St Mirren.
Did I have them 10th? Well, I thought I had them 11th, if I'm honest.
This continues because, of course, this was their disastrous pre-season that we
they were knocked out the League Cup in the groups, weren't they?
Yes, exactly. So, understandably, you said 10th because then in 11th, I said St Mirren. I said that that's exactly where they would be. But
in fairness, I think this was after Stephen Robinson's meltdown, where despite having previously managed Motherwell, he was then questioning the League Cup format, like he hasn't managed in Scotland for 2-3 years.
Yeah, exactly. You, however, got another one bang on. You predicted Ross County to finish 11th, right. So not bad at all. And then obviously, we had to get another one very wrong because of Dundee United's placement. We both had St Johnstone to go down because obviously they just narrowly escaped relegation the season prior, and we didn't think they made any improvements. We made jokes about the fact that Ryan McGowan would be the only thing to keep them up, and he kind of ended up being that. So that's not bad. But
well done, Gowser, but still haven't forgiven you for signing for them.
Yeah, exactly. So we both ended up with 5 out of the top 6 right. You got 4 out of the bottom 6 right and 3 correct placements. So
that's all right. That's not too bad.
Terrible. Not terrible at all. So those were our predictions at the start of the season.
We now
move into the review portion. So we start with the signings that we made. We made 13 signings across the summer window and the January transfer window. And basically, Adam, I'm going to name each person and I want a grade from you.
Grading? Oh, God.
What a grade from you.
Right. I'm going to try and stick to letters only without your pluses, minuses and all that jazz.
That's fair enough. You can, if you want, give justification, or if you feel it speaks for itself, you're welcome to just give me a grade.
No, I'll try and give justification on each one.
So we will start. Now, by the way, these aren't in order of when we signed them. These are just in order.
This could be totally random.
Of how Transfermarkt has them listed.
Oh, do they not do it by fee as well? So this will depress me when we go on to like who spent money on.
No, because I can see someone who's second last in the summer that I know was the third most expensive player.
All right.
So I don't know how they've done it.
Oh, God knows then.
Number 1, however, is Lawrence Shankland.
Hey, easy, simple, move on.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Very much fair. Orestis Kiyomotsoglou.
D.
Okay, are you giving a justification or are you going with a D?
I'll give him a C or a D. No, because we shelled out Big Doe, but do you know what it is? He's still a young guy. I can't imagine his English is too hot. Mm-hmm. I just want a bit of patience. Look, next season's make or break.
That's
I'm
fair.
willing to give him next season. I just haven't seen enough. Sometimes he's looked very good. Sometimes he's looked shit. And I didn't mean to do that Gennaro Gattuso impression, so let's move on.
I'm a big fan of it. Continuing maybe in the same mold, we have the guy who I know was our first signing, just because I remember it, Alan Forrest, who you said would be signing of the season.
D. Again, promising start, fizzled away into nothingness.
Very fair. The first of the free transfers alongside Alan Forrest is Xander Clark, who was made after the window in the first 2 weeks or something like that.
I'm going for a B.
I think that's
solid for the most part, but in some games has cost us toward the latter stages. I feel. I think he's a great stop shopper.
I like a stop shopper. I like that.
Shot stopper. Excuse me. But coming for crosses and sort of, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right terminology.
Organization.
And his line discipline. If you know what I mean. So it's sometimes I get a little bit nervy.
That's
so fair. On the whole, a decent shot stopper. However, I have skepticism in other areas. So I'm going for a B.
The one I'm most interested to see what you say, because I don't know how you're going to do this, but Lewis Nielsen.
C?
I think that's fair. Because how many games did he even play? I'm going to find out.
I don't know. He's one for the future, Lewis Nielsen, isn't he? Yeah. So again, young guy needs a loan move somewhere.
He played 10 games.
I wouldn't be surprised if a Dundee United or that came calling for him.
Yeah.
In that second tier, if they shift on your Ryan Edwardses, your Charlie Mulgrews.
Funny. That'd be funny if he went back to United.
Just for the pattern, we should give him back to United. That would be quite funny. Yeah. C.
Sticking with defence, Kai Rolls.
B?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Especially since you're not doing plus and minuses, I would say a B is fair.
Because he's teetering on, if you'd asked me this prior to Qatar, it's a straight A all day.
Yeah.
Since Qatar, again, you say it, he's bullied off whoever's up front just about every other week. So needs to hit the gym, the big man, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If he fills out, if he does a John Suter, I hate to say it, I hate to make that comparison, but if he does a John Suter or a Craig Halkett, thank you, for coming to my rescue, then I think we're laughing with Kai Rolls, to be honest. But needs filling out and needs a bit more belief. I think it's a confidence thing as well.
I think he needs Craig Halkett beside him as well.
Well, or somebody to do his heading for him. Harry Suter did it at Qatar, didn't he? Yeah. So. Yeah, develop a partnership, but he's a right good player, Cairo. So I'm going to B.
Sticking with the left-hand side of the defence, Alex Cochrane.
A.
Well done. Correct.
Need I say any more?
No.
Our best defensive player this season by a country mile. I talked about Xander Clark's line discipline. It would just be nice if Alex Cochrane had any discipline.
Discipline of any kind.
That would be a bonus, but no, one of the best sort of try before you buys that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the right way to go about it. If we're not too sure on a young player, can always send them back to their parent club. But he impressed last season, and he certainly impressed this. So yeah, one of the player of the year contenders for me, definitely.
Maybe a slight tone change here. George Grant.
E.
The lowest so far. So you think he's our worst signing?
E. For the money that we've paid, for what we were promised.
What we saw in that pre-season friendly against Tranmere.
I just don't see it against Bonnie Groves, against Stoke. No, sorry, E.
And then one of the two loan players we had, Stephen Humphreys. Deadline day panic buy, he was described as. Then he made his debut against Livingston where he was culpable, and some people went, that's it, he's shit, he'll never do anything.
This is really tricky.
I know.
This is really tricky because he did give us some great moments.
He's a cult hero, basically.
He is something of a cult hero, but I'm going to go for a C, slap bang in the middle. I don't know if that's harsh or if that's generous or. I just think sometimes your best ability is availability, and even
Mhm.
towards the latter stages of his loan spell, I just felt we were needing something different, and he wasn't providing that. I don't know if that's down to him, if that's down to just falling out of favour or what, but I'd be sceptical about bringing Stephen Humphreys back if I'm honest.
He did, however, score the best goal I've ever seen in person. So
Oh,
I'll
without
give
a
him
doubt.
that.
And even that, like my first goal following Hearts in Europe, he ultimately
Yeah,
scored. So, and notched in the derby. Who
yeah.
doesn't? Oh, hit the griddy on Hibs. Like, just what a guy.
But no, I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
I'm skeptical. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna contribute to these, or am I just
No,
doing them all?
I want you great because I've had doing this. I've had time and I can't work out because I've been influenced by like
You
looking
could
at
do
the
it in your tweet.
stats and
You could
stuff
do it in
like
your
that.
tweet to like
Yeah,
post out the
yeah, yeah. And then finally, the last summer transfer, joining Xander Clark in his free agency, it
Oh
was Robert
Jesus.
Snodgrass.
Oh, God. Um, you know what? This might be mental, right? But I'm going to put him above George Grant. There you are.
Okay,
I'm going to give him a D
okay.
because again, at the start, looked promising, but when our form tailed off, he tailed off massively. Um, Look, I I don't know whether if we were like too dependent on Robert Snodgrass, which sounds mental to say, given off the part we're in the best place that we've been in decades, probably since we started supporting Hearts.
Yeah, probably.
And yet we were relying on a what, 35, 36-year-old week
Yep.
in, week out to create chances because a winger that did so for us last season didn't fancy doing so for most of this. So it's ended it's ended in the worst possible way. But I didn't turn my nose up at the signing when it happened. It looked a real cracking coup for us up until a point. But then after said point, I mean, it is Paisley for me.
Yeah.
After that draw with St Mirren where he ironically
Ironically,
scored,
gets his
yeah,
only goal. Yeah,
it was really was dog shit after that. So
yeah.
D for dog shit.
Hey, don't worry though, because if the rumours are to believe, we'll be relying on another 35-year-old midfielder
Oh, can't wait.
next
I've been
season.
arguing with my pals all day about it. Can't wait.
Can't he wait? Well, we then moved into January, and it was a not very eventful January for us. Only 3 signings came in the door, 2 of them on loan. So we'll start with them. First one, James Hill, who has had high highs and low lows in the eyes of many, in the eyes of
Hence,
you
I'm
particularly.
hence I'm going to give him a C. Might be
Okay.
harsh, given recently he's been really good.
Yeah.
But again, initial promise didn't really cement himself in the side. Got back in recently towards the end of the season. We'll go back to Bournemouth. Not really asked if we sign him on a permanent or not. It's the best way that I can sum up James Hill's Hearts career.
The final loan player, Garankuyo, who in my research I saw this played 6 times out of a possible 23.
Speaks volumes. D. Teetering towards an E. I'll
I
go
think
D though.
that's what he did get us the goal at Ibrox.
Exactly. Give us a moment at least. What's George Grant done? So D.
And then
D for
finally,
disappointing in that
there you go.
circumstance.
There you go. Then finally, the only permanent signing that we made in January, Yutaro Oda.
I feel like I'm going to get dogs abuse for this.
Oh God, he's either going to
But
go A or D.
no, I'm going to give him a C.
All right, I think that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do have to take into account the like. I don't think a lot of his
like
issues were his fault though.
no,
But you
like
still have to mark him based on these performances overall the
right,
time.
exactly. We've seen more under Stephen Naismith than we did under Robbie, despite the fact that it was Robbie who signed him in the January.
Yeah.
So there must be a reason for that. Like, if he was an A or B, he would have been playing regularly by mid-February and
Yeah.
would have contributed way earlier than obviously the goal against Hibs, in our last game of the season. So C, teetering towards a B, pushing towards a B, but we haven't really seen enough yet. He is one to watch next season for me, though. I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing him cement a spot in the starting 11 because he has shown promise.
So that sums up the 13 signings: 2 A's, 2 B's, and then a lot of average, which kind of I think is the feeling of how our recruitment went. That it was distinctly average. Just to close that out, the outs in the summer were John Souttar, Jamie Walker, Mihai Popescu, Jamie Brandon, Loic Damour, and Aaron McInnes.
Okay.
I still say I would have kept McInnes. McInnes is as good as George Grant.
Oh yeah, I'll go along with that.
Like, so why did we spend a bunch of money to then replace him with a worse person?
Why could we not have found better than both?
Yes, exactly. Definitely.
Out of that list, John Souttar's realistically the only one that I'm keeping. And even then, he's only just got himself into this Rangers.
Two, I would say.
Go on.
Souttar and, like, obviously, Damour.
Oh.
He leaves and the whole season goes to shit. Is there a coincidence there? I think not.
Because when he was chilling at Le Mans, we were flying.
Yeah, but that's because we knew he was in the building spiritually. So it was fine. So anyway.
Part of that leadership group, wasn't he?
Yes, 100%. This is now where I will come into it as well. Because we now have overall thoughts. So we have...
Hash!
Yeah, basically. Different categories. As I said at the start, we have best player, worst player, best signing, worst signing, most improved player, most underwhelming player, biggest surprise, and overall season grade. Now, I will give my answer to this, but so it's not to influence you. I've already wrote all mine down. So if you give your answer first to each one, I'll then give mine as justification. Okay. So the best player of the season in your eyes
has to be Shankland. Although Cochrane's also a contender. I feel like you're going to go Cochrane. So
I said both.
Right,
said Shankland and Cochrane because I knew you'd pick Shankland. So yes, exactly. I wanted to get
you go Cochrane then. Right, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Like the best striker we've ever seen at the club, and then one of the most dependable defenders in a season without dependable defenders.
Do you know what's sort of been swept under the carpet with regards to this season? It's the fact that Liam Boyce got injured. I know that Shankland and Gino have struck up a great partnership, but I'd be really intrigued to see what Boyce and Shankland can do together.
Liam played 10 games for us this season.
Or do you get the feeling that we might switch to like a 3-5-2 and he just goes Shankland and Ginelli with Boyce in the hole? I don't know. I feel like we might have that up our sleeve. I'll put it this way: it's a great option to have for Liam Boyce coming back because he can play in numerous positions in those attacking areas. So it's a massive bonus to have him back when he is eventually back.
That's very fair. Worst player. There's a few.
I mean, I have just slewed George Grant, haven't I?
You have.
But Keogh's been dog sometimes as well. Nathaniel Atkinson's been getting away with murder as well.
Mm-hmm. It's because he improved massively under Naismith, so people kind of go, all right. I've again kind of shut out of it and got
Forrest,
two.
Maybe. Who will I go for? No, do you know what? I'm going to stick by what I said in the grades. George Grant.
That's fair. Obviously, kind of defined by that red card against Zurich and never really...
That summed up his season.
Back. I went with two, but one of them's more just a talking point. So I went Alan Forrest just because I had such high hopes for him. And as you say, after October, he just never lived up to them. But the other one I put
was the last decent performance I can remember from Alan Forrest.
Exactly. The other one I put was Stephen Kingsley. Because
good shout.
Jesus Christ, what happened to you
a great shout.
When you got back for Scotland? Because it is just the expectation. We know how good he can be. He was arguably player of the year season before. And then he
and Mackay both in that same camp.
Yeah.
It's a good shout.
Because I can at least think of, as you say, in
Because I
Europe,
love Kingsley as well.
Fir Park and stuff like that. I can at least think of good Alan Forrest games. Can you name a good Stephen Kingsley performance that stood out in a positive way this season? You can name about 10 for the season before.
Oof.
I can't think of any. Literally can't think of a single one.
No, it would have had to have been early doors if at
Yeah.
all, which is sad to say.
Please be good this year, Stephen.
Yeah, I'd like to
Please.
see the real Stephen Kingsley. Please stand up.
Exactly. Best signing, I think it's probably self-explanatory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
George
Lawrence
Grant,
Shankland.
unbelievable.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just the best.
Well worth the dough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lawrence Shankland for me as well. Just he is the best signing.
Bagsman.
Like, thankfully, we then move into worst signing. Are you sticking with your George Grant shout?
Do you know what? I've been too harsh on Grant throughout these awards, so I'm going to go Keogh.
Okay.
Again, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Both came for big money. Both have been rotten. Garang Kuol could also be chucked in that category, mind you.
So I haven't picked any of them.
Who have you gone for?
Can you guess?
You've not gone Kuol. Who do you hate? For you?
It's not that I hate them.
I was about to say, you don't have many that you don't.
No. I'll put you out your misery. My selection for worst signing was Robert Snodgrass. Because it's not even necessarily...
we've not even seen like a year of his... Like, he sat out most of the year deal that we gave him.
Yeah, like, it's not even necessarily his fault, because as you say, he started really well, but I view worst signing in who has the worst effect on the team. And the worst effect on the team is Robert Snodgrass, because
of the allegations made,
play through him, and he was completely found out, and we didn't change that. As I say, he can't dictate what we do, although if you listen to rumours, maybe he can. But I know that's Nielsen choosing to continue to play that system, but he still is the person that is playing the system and that was targeted because he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. That escaped my mind. I'm trying to think of like.
I know you're on the spot, and I've had more time to think about it, but
even pound for pound as well, mate. Because like Snodgrass came in on a free, right? So it is low risk, but again, like what we've seen for what we've given him in wages, yeah, it's a fair argument.
Bit of positivity. Most improved player. So again, that can be a signing who started badly and massively improved, or someone who was already here and massively improved.
I'm gonna go for, and this is harsh on Josh Ginnelly, I'm gonna go for Toby Sibic for this one.
I also went with Toby Sibic as well. It is harsh on Gino. On Gino. But Sibic from that Zurich game, ironically, we were speaking about Grant, he never really looked back.
Lost. He was like Bambi on ice, and now he's turned into a brick wall for the most part. So.
I do think it was that one game, that even just the second half of that Zurich game, where just everyone was singing his name. Everything
was it Riga as well at Tynecastle as well? I seem to remember.
Yeah, just everything he did was great. Like, and he just, as you say, he just became a wall of a centre half.
It's amazing what happens when you get behind a player rather than boo and cuss them, isn't it? Unbelievable. If only we did that, all the time.
What a novelty that is.
Well done, Tobes, my guy.
Definitely. I'm really happy for him. And again, really look forward to seeing him next season with maybe a more settled back line as well.
That's what I'm thinking with regards to this 3-5-2 as well. Would you have he and Rolls either side of somebody? I don't know.
Yeah, that is the thing.
Decision.
Like,
I don't know.
It is 3. If Halkett's back, a 3 does look like the most sensible thing with how well Atkinson's coming to a game and Cochrane is just
Cochrane. You know what I mean? Just see them bombing on. Boys dropping into pockets.
I'd like
Shankland and Gino just stay up, but I don't know.
We'll see. Back to the negativity. Most underwhelming player.
I've already slewed Keogh. I've already slewed Grant. I'm going to go surrounded the height. I've got to go Keogh.
That's fair. Mm-hmm.
Is that? Oh,
hey, if you think that
I'm going Keogh. It's harsh on the young man, but he's not forced his way into the plans, so I'm going to say him.
I went with Barry Mackay. just because
Also a contender.
Jesus Christ, that drop off. I know we've just seen that he's
Again, Kingsley.
had an operation, but it's like get it
Yeah.
earlier than Barry. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but we don't. This is my point. Like, we don't. We've been so dependent on him to create for ages.
And
Hearts
he's
should have addressed this
knackered.
in the summer.
Yeah.
We thought we had, and it's evident that we haven't.
Yeah.
So the summer, it has to be creative types for me.
Yeah.
Get us a number 10 or 2. Get us another winger on the other flank that can chip in and contribute and try and keep Josh Ginnelly at the club. And then we're in a much better place because, again, Mackay's a great shout. Kingsley also a shout, as we alluded to earlier. But in terms of for the hype that he came in, I'm going cool.
And then this is a very open-ended one. This is biggest surprise of the season. It can be a moment, it can be a game, it can be a funny thing, it can be a player, it can be literally. It's very open, so it's totally up to you what you want to go with. You could even name multiple things.
Yeah, I'm going to go Josh Ginnelly's return because I alluded to it earlier.
That's exactly what I said. Josh Ginnelly's fantastic season because it just kind of came out of nowhere.
So, like, it was hard to miss out for Civic, so yeah, I'm going to go Gino on it. I don't know. I thought he was adamant he was staying. A couple of my mates that sit in the wheat field had said that he pointed to the badge and was saying that he was staying. So I took that with a pinch of salt, given my mates are absolute numpties and I don't know whether I believe them or not. But yeah, I'm going Gino because we felt as though there was a player in there. Then we felt as though we weren't arsed if he sort of left for nothing this summer, and now we want to keep him. So yeah. I'm gonna say that, and again, he and Shankland, great partnership. I'm certain I've said on this podcast, deep in the archives, I can't be arsed going back to check, but I'm certain I said that he actually looks as though he is a centre forward as opposed to a wide player.
I remember you
never rated his
crossing. Saying that. Yeah,
I've always thought that his crossing was suspect. You'd see him get it on the right hand side. And folk in the Gorgie, where the ultras are now going to be sitting, would have to duck down just in case it was going to end up in their noggin. So, yeah, Gino's transformation as a centre forward as opposed to a wide player.
That's exactly what I just said. Josh Ginnelly's fantastic season. I didn't expect him to be part of the best partnership we've ever seen goal scoring wise. I didn't expect him to be.
That is mad. I didn't see anybody surpassing Scatchel and Hartley.
Nah, not at all. Obviously, I know that Shankland's doing more of the heavy lifting on that side of thing, but Gino ended up only getting 4 goals less than Rudy and Hartley in the season.
Hell.
Gino got 12, and Rudy and Hartley both got 16.
And that season, is lauded to this day because obviously we achieved what we achieved.
Yeah.
But if you actually break that down and think about it, that's mad.
Yeah, we've had 2 players do way better than that.
No, but I mean specifically Gino, the fact that he's only 4 off. I love Paul Hartley's possibly my favourite Hearts player ever.
He's both of them are absolute legends.
Do you know what I mean? That's crazy.
You also had Gino's 9 assists as well.
There you go. So contributions galore.
Absolutely.
Well done, Josh. Nice of you to turn up.
The final thing is overall season grade.
C.
I also put C. I put C as well.
Let's go with that. I didn't want to be too harsh. Didn't want to be too scathing.
Because there has been positives.
There has. Yeah, do you know? Oh, you saying that makes me feel like the negatives should outweigh the positives and therefore take that down to a D. But I'm going to try and be as optimistic as I can.
I still think, though, having Shankland, Cochrane, Gino doing so well.
We've had some bright lights.
Games, that January period where we just beat everybody and it was amazing.
That January was great.
Yeah.
So good.
Exactly. But
and
obviously,
then it hit February and turned to shit.
Yeah, the negatives. And listen, I think that's pretty fair across the board from you. I think that's pretty well justified.
Mate. Thanks. This is fine. I expected to come on here, be ranting and raving, be running my mouth, tearing us a new one, as I so often do.
Yeah.
But you know what? we've seen worse. See when you get these idiot fans, but that say, "Oh, this is the worst Heart season in living memory." I'm like,
Mental.
when did you start supporting us?
I
Last
can think
season?
of about 6 that are worse than this.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what? What is that chat?
You're allowed to say it's like one of the most disappointing, especially considering where we were and what it
The
looked like we
circumstances
had.
change in a season, but you're not trying to tell me that when we finished, I don't know, 8th in like
Yeah.
08, 09 or whenever the hell it was, that like, come on, man. We've been relegated twice.
Yeah,
Yes, the
going
first
into
time was with kids,
administration and all
but
that.
1920, Jesus.
Yeah,
Come
1920. If anything can beat 1920, I'm giving up football.
Don't even say that. You're just tempting fate for next
Jesus
season. Don't even say that. Do not say that.
But yeah, like no,
We're due
way.
one. The law of averages, like it's been going too well.
I know.
It's all going to go to pot.
But that's
now.
the thing. There can never, in my opinion, it cannot be the worst season where we see statistically the best striker in our lifetime.
No chance.
Nah. No, there's too many happy memories associated with the season. There's also a lot of disappointing and angry memories associated. But there is still happy memories.
The overwhelming feeling is that it's been a disappointment.
And a missed opportunity.
But like, it's not the end of the world.
We go again next year.
We do go again. Like, this is what it's all about. You're trying to tell me that when we were minutes from extinction.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
that St Mirren game where it was like, oh, this could be the last time I turn up.
What are people talking about?
Yeah,
like this is bonkers. What, like, we don't give up easily as fans of this football club. So don't dare suggest doing so now because we've slipped to 4th. Yeah. It could have been a lot worse. We could have ended up 5th, 6th, easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if anything, we're lucky the season ended when it did.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Well, I'm glad that we kind of ended the review on positivity where it's like, come on, stick together.
Sprinkle a little tad of rage and nonsense. But,
exactly.
But for the most part, we're trying to view it positively. Look, I'm trying to change my ways, gang. Canel.
Well, that was our review. It's interesting. I don't know how to feel about the season overall, but I think a C is a pretty fair grade.
C for could have been better, could have been worse.
Well done. Very nice. Well, as ever, we will finish with a quiz. So I'll be honest, I forgot about this. I had done all my prep and then I forgot about the quiz. So let's see what the quality of this is going to be. I will say
be a disaster.
all the questions, because obviously we have the Who Am I, but the 4
based
questions
in the last 2 fixtures.
Yeah, exactly. They're all about Edinburgh derbies from 2023. No, they are about, however, this season. It's all stats based around this season. So, multiple choice, true or false, 2 normal questions. And we start with your multiple choice.
Oh, God.
Who made the most appearances for Hearts this season? Now, this is in all competitions and includes starts and from the bench. So, is it A, Alan Forrest? Is it B, Lawrence Shankland? Is it C, Barry Mackay? Or is it D, Alex Cochrane?
I literally thought of Cochrane the entire way, and then I thought as soon as I got to see Barry Mackay, I was like, "Oh, this is good." If he's not included in the 4, then it obviously can't be him. So I'll go Shankland. Now I'm torn between Cochrane and Shankland. I'm going to say because of his tendency to get red cards that Shankland has featured more than Alex Cochrane has.
So these are the top 4 most appearances.
Right. Okay. I'm very surprised that Alan Forrest has stuck his way into the top 4.
As am I. The lowest, with the 4th amount of appearances, was Alex Cochrane.
Really?
With 46 appearances this season.
Bloody hell.
Joint second.
Here we go. Oh, God. It's Lawrence Shankland.
With 47, so only one more, is Alan Forrest and Lawrence Shankland.
Oh, you bastard.
And then
so Barry Mackay's made the most.
Eclipsing by 2 is Barry Mackay with 49 appearances this season.
Crikey.
So,
and now we see him in that moon boot. It's great management from Hearts.
Love that.
Good work.
So, You're off to not a great start, but you got the joint
I feel like I've been
second.
robbed there.
I know. I thought Shankland was the answer when
That's
I
a
started doing it.
shocker.
Again, if this is
Did not
wrong,
foresee that.
London Hearts blame transfer
No,
marked. Like that's what they
saying
said.
absolutely nothing. I don't care enough.
So, come on, it's the quiz. Yes, you do. You do care. It's the most important thing in this podcast. This is why I'm battering you in the Who Am I, because I care. This is what I'm here for.
I'll just toss it away. I can't win, so like, who cares?
Well, speaking about tossing someone away, we tossed away third.
There we go.
However, compared to last season, how many points worse off did we finish this season?
Oh, this isn't a multiple choice. I'm just to know this.
This is just to know this.
Oh, God. I've got two numbers in my head.
Right.
I've got 11 and I've got 14 in my head. It's neither of those, is it?
Who knows?
No, just be honest. Come on.
You could be... That's not how a quiz works, where you just think up potential answers.
Are you going to give me in between one?
Yeah, if you get one either side, I'll give you it.
Right. I'll go 14.
You are exactly double wrong. It is 7 points of difference.
Is that it?
We finished this season with 54 points. We ended last season with 61 points.
Seriously?
Yep. We would have come that points. Aberdeen finished with 58 this season. So not even enough to get third last season.
Bloody hell.
Yep. Two
wins and a draw. But not as much as... Yeah. See, that's what I mean by the overreaction. Get a grip. It'd be worse. Christ.
When you were like, well, I get it within one off, and in my head I'm like, well, you've said double what it is, so yeah, sure.
7 points?
Yep.
It's the way that we've been going on. You'd think that the world was ending.
I know, you think they're 20 points behind.
7 points?
Yeah. Interesting. So, true or false?
I'll inevitably get this wrong.
Alan Forrest was our third top goal scorer this season in all competitions.
Step forward Shankland. Step forward Gino.
He's thinking about it.
I'm thinking about this. Why do I feel like this is that ridiculous that it's going to be true?
Who knows?
Don't pull that face at me, mate. You're just going to rope me in with the wrong answer. I'm going to say... Oh, am I going to say that? I don't know. How many is Alan Forrest bagged? Think of it like that. A brace against Motherwell.
Just actually work out how many goals he's scored.
One against Riga away. This is entirely off the top of my head. That's why nothing's coming to me. I feel like... God. Oh, this is painful. Because all I can remember Humphreys scoring is like Hibs, Fiorentina, and Dundee United.
Mm-hmm.
Has he got more than 3? Oh my God. But then 3 that's tied. Forrest must have snuck one in somewhere else. I'm going to... Yeah, I'll go true. I don't care.
It is true. He's joint third top goal scorer with Stephen Humphreys. They both have 5.
5.
Now, you last week in your quiz, I got a question wrong because I thought Hearts Kilmarnock finished 1-1 with Nathaniel Atkinson scoring.
Oh,
but
he
Humphreys
did score at Killie as well.
And Alan Forrest also scored against St Johnstone. However, I cannot remember each of their fifth in the 3-2.
McDermott?
Yeah.
Did he score that night? Did he?
Yeah.
Pretty
I
cool.
can't think of either of their 5th goals, though. I didn't research this. I probably should have, but I didn't. Interestingly, the next to them is also joint. So the 4th top goal scorer is Barry Mackay and Andy Halliday with 4.
Wow. I'm going on Stephen Humphreys' soccer base right now.
Go for it. So we had 4th top goal scorer with 4, 3rd top goal scorer with 5, then there's a big jump to 2nd in 12, and then there's an even bigger jump to 28.
Humphreys, Killie away was his first, then Fiorentina away.
Yeah.
the following Thursday. Kelly away and Fiorentina away. Never fails to
Mental.
make me laugh. Hibs in the Derby, Dundee United, and then the week after, Hamilton 0, Hearts 2. Stephen
Oh, of
Humphries, of
course.
course. And
I
he
was
could have bagged
there.
a hat trick that
He
night.
could have,
If
yeah.
my memory serves. Alan Forrest, do you want me to check him as well while I'm on
Yeah,
here?
because I can think, as I say, I think he scored against St Johnstone. He got the double at Fir Park. He scored against Riga, but I cannot think of a fifth one. This is when it turns out I've got the question wrong, and it is in fact false.
Oh my God. In fairness, I wasn't at this game, but my dad was at this game.
So it's at home.
Season opener, Hearts 2, Ross County 1.
God,
So
you
Ross...
must have been absolutely buzzing with that coming in with your best sign-in on the opening day.
I was living life. I was just chilling at her folks' cottage, just soaking up the sun, catching the highlights. Alan Forrest, my man.
Making an Alan Forrest fan cam on your phone.
Barry Mackay and Forrest to the goals.
Mackay scored that really good goal as well, and it was like
a great goal.
We're sorted.
Yeah, so Ross County, Riga away, Motherwell away. Oh, similar to Humphreys. The Riga was the midweek on the Thursday, and then we went to Fir Park on the Sunday.
Did. Of course, he had a great
and
week.
Then December 2022 was his last goal in that St Johnstone game. Very good.
Fair play. Well, you're 1 for 3. You got one right. Right.
Yay.
Last question before the Who Am I? It's an I'll be very impressed if you get this one, because it's a niche question. Okay. Who is the player that this season featured in the most amount of match day squads but never played a second?
Oh, what a great question.
What I mean by that is who featured on the bench the most amount of times without ever having
played on.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm chuffed with this question.
That is a great question.
I'm a fan.
That is why you need to study the bench.
See? Exactly.
That didn't feature. Who do you like in the youths? You like the lad McLucky, do you not?
I'm a big fan of Bobby McLucky.
You're a big Bobby McLucky fan. You're a big Aidan Denham fan because of FM Past Glories.
I was about to say, I'm not a fan of Aidan Denham in real life. I'm just a fan of Aidan Denham on FM.
They're the two that are kind of in my head. Macaulay Tate as well, maybe?
It's interesting that you're thinking all youth.
Why has he said that?
I would recommend following that train of thought. There's a wee clue for you.
Maybe somebody like a Finlay Pollock that folk have been begging to get minutes. Finlay Pollock would make the most sense. Or would it? No.
Again, I will say this is in all competitions. So this individual literally didn't play in any competition this season, but featured several times.
Oh, it was on the bench a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Am I gonna go Finlay Pollock? Yeah, is he featured? No, I'm not. Am I? I don't know.
Don't Ruben Palazuelos it.
You're just making me say Finlay Pollock because it's not, but I'm going to say it now. So Finlay Pollock.
It's not. It's Macaulay Tate.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, so Macaulay Tate featured 8 times on the bench this season, but never played. There was other players who had the same. Ross Stewart had like the most amount, but obviously played.
Featured at Celtic Park. That was that threw me off. I thought it might have been a youngster. That's annoying. We moved.
You were close though. You were in that right headspace.
It was in the extended family.
Yes, exactly. Right. Who am I? Here we go. The team I came through the youth ranks for and made my first team debut dissolved the year I debuted. I made my debut for Hearts against Celtic in a game where we didn't lose. I've played in Scotland, Poland, Turkey, Lithuania, Israel, and Germany. I have almost 100 caps for my country. When at Hearts, I featured in several high-profile games, but was never on the winning side. Who am I?
Of course he wasn't.
I will get this man's Wikipedia up.
Crikey. Oh, see, I thought of somebody like a Danny Granger, but there's no way that he's played in Poland and all this pish. I wondered if he'd come at from Gretna or something in like
Interesting.
2008 or something like that. What was the first clue? Sorry, McIver.
The team I came through the youth ranks for and made my first team debut for dissolved the year I debuted.
Such an unorthodox clue.
So he made his debut in a season for a team that at the end of the season folded.
See, like all these countries are fucking throwing me off as well.
Would you like them repeated?
No, I'd like the clubs in order, please.
Oh, you bastard. This is going to be a laugh.
It's the only way that I'm going to be anywhere near. Try to think of who we'd have sold to, who we'd have signed from.
I'd like to preface this with an apology
for the pronunciation
for all these teams. That's so, fine. FZ Vilnius 2, Interas, FC Vilnius, Heart of Midlothian, St Johnston, Erzgebirge AUE. Now, I never know how to pronounce this. I've always pronounced them as Bochum. VFL Bochum.
Is it Bochum?
Bochum.
I think I know who it is.
In Germany. Jagiellona Bialystok. Legia Warsaw. Erzurumspor. Samsunspor. Hapoel Haifa.
Can I get the position that they played in McIver?
Fuck me. Well, this is interesting. It lists 3 positions.
Right.
Do you want all 3? I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. Winger, left back, striker.
Don't remember him at left back, but is it by any chance Arvydas Novakovas?
It's Arvydas Novakovas. I gave you an easy one at the end of the season, the end of the high. You have no idea how hard it was to get clues that was not just, it's clearly Novakovas.
Tell you what, some of them were belters, though. The clubs, I remember them at Bochum. I don't remember, and that Ezer Yayu or whatever they were in Germany.
Erzurumspor and Yagi.
No, what was the other one? It was like
Erzgebirge AUE.
Remember him at them. I remember seeing him on FIFA. I remember him at Bochum and the other one. But yeah, give us the clues again, because some of them were belters.
The team I came through the youth ranks for, I mean, my first team debut, dissolved the year I debuted. That was FZ Vilnius.
Nice.
Which is
that wasn't the one that Vlad owned. It was FBK Kaunas, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. The most notable player to play from that club, by the way, was the Brazilian Paulinho, who was at Spurs and Barca and stuff like that.
How the hell did he end up in Lithuania?
I have absolutely no idea. I'm checking that right now. He went on loan.
What bizarre transfer.
I have no idea why. 2006, this year before they dissolved. 06 to 07.
I was about to say, imagine him being teammates with Arvydas Novakovas.
Yeah, exactly. No. And then he was
rotten, that boy.
And then I think he was fine for Spurs, but not great. And then he inexplicably in 2017 signed for Barca. Yeah. He's played for Corinthians 4 times in his career, and he's at Corinthians now.
Oh, big club. Fair play to him.
Fair play. I made my debut for Hearts against Celtic, where we didn't lose. He came on for temps on the 51st minute in a 0-0 draw.
Forgettable game.
I've played in Scotland, Poland, Turkey, Lithuania, Israel, Germany, as you said, by the clubs. I have almost 100 caps for my country. He's got 92 caps for Lithuania.
I think we probably could get 90-odd caps for Lithuania.
That's harsh. When at Hearts, I featured in several high-profile games, but was never on the winning side. The 2 games against Spurs he played. He did, however, play at White Hart Lane, where we drew 0-0.
And Harry Kane missed that pay.
Yeah, so fair play.
Wonder whatever happened to him.
Exactly. Speaking about Spain, he might be going there.
Nice.
He played in both legs against Liverpool.
Sorry, do you not find it mental that Big Ange is now going to go from literally young to Harry Kane? Yeah, that is wild. Sorry,
it's crazy. He played in both legs against Liverpool, both at home and
Remember having the Adidas, the white and maroon, the Wonga.
Yeah. And then he started in the... No, he didn't start. I think he came on as a sub. That's, I think, when he came on as a sub. In the League Cup final against St Mirren. Yeah. Let me see. What season? That was 12-13,
Was it?
Yeah. 13, he came on as a sub on for Jamie Walker
2013.
in the 64th minute.
Crikey.
So,
oh, well, there we go.
How mental is it?
Redeemed myself towards the end there.
Is that in 2008, he came on as a sub for Temps. In 2008, Temps had already made himself like a mainstay of that team.
Yeah, because when I think of David Templeton, it was like 10-11. That was just a great season.
Yeah. But he made his debut in 2007.
Christ.
When he was 16.
So he's only 32 now?
33.
33?
Yeah.
He's been around for ages.
I know, it's mental. It's insane. But yeah, so I gave you Novikova. So we have officially finished the season 17-8 in the Who Am I?
That is rotten.
I
need to go back
and step it up.
I need to step up my game.
Next
make
season.
Me solid. That is poor.
But yeah, so we will, of course, as everybody is, be taking a few weeks off in the break. However, the way that football is, we actually don't have that big a break because pre-season starts in 2.5 weeks. So we will take a bit of time off, but of course, by the time we come back, we'll, Jesus Christ, surely have a new manager. Or perhaps
you'd like to hope so.
One. New players will have left. Hopefully some players will be staying that are potentially leaving, and it's us, so random shit will have happened as well.
And vice versa. Hopefully there are some players that fancy on staying, but no, just simply aren't good enough.
Exactly. But we hope you have enjoyed this. We hope you have enjoyed the season. Thank you very much for sticking with us. It's been the longest season ever. Considering the break and everything like that. And it's been a lot of highs and lows, as we've said in this episode. But it would have been a lot worse if we didn't have this to do, I feel.
Oh, without a doubt, we'd have just been bottling up rage and taking it out on, loved ones, whereas we would just take it out on one another.
Exactly. So, that's much better as well. So massive, massive thank you to everyone for your support this season. And if you want to show your support, please do that through sharing the podcast. If you're listening to it, please leave a review on whatever platform that you listen to. It massively helps. If you're watching us on YouTube, seeing how angry we get throughout the season, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can get us on all the socials at Perth to Paisley, perthtopaisley@gmail.com as well. If you want to fire us over an email, Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
They can get me on all the socials at Adam T. Kendo, and a massive thank you to anybody that's ever shared, listened, downloaded, all that good jazz. Because it is a lot of fun doing this podcast and giving you our rants and raves about the club that we all absolutely love. What about yourself, mate?
I'm at DMcIver22. We'll be back in pre-season with a whole bunch of stuff to discuss and get excited about for the new season before inevitably being here this time next year going, that was shite, but don't worry, we'll be back much better again.
Can I also add, if anybody wants an interview with a particular Hearts player, we'll try our best. If anybody knows of anybody, send them our way, and we'll try and get an interview or something in the close season. If for those that miss it, if you're asking me personally, I can't wait for the break. But we'll try and churn out an interview or two, because why not?
Yes, exactly. We'll do our best. But until then, whenever the next episode is, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.